Hello, everybody. This is Brian Ankney with Auto Success Magazine. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to join us today. We've got some great information. Brendan's going to share some great information with you. Brandon Jacobson, he's a strategic partner manager for Google. He's got some really great insights to share with you that hopefully can help you sell more cars right away. A couple things I'd like to remind everybody of is we're going to hold all the questions until the end. On your little go to webinar pane, you'll see a little, it'll say questions with a plus mark next to it. Click the plus. You can type your questions right there. We will get to the questions at the end. There's also a chat function on the right. If you feel like chatting with each other, you're welcome to do so. If you haven't as of yet, join Auto Success Webinars. Auto Success Webinars is a group on Facebook where you can be sure that you never miss another webinar that you want to see. All of our webinars are posted there. You're welcome to interact with the sponsor companies, also the speakers, also myself. If there's a topic that you're dying to see, go ahead and send me a message in that group, and I'll find someone who's an expert in that topic, and we'll have a webinar about it. So yes, please hold all your questions until the end. Today's guest is Brendan Jacobson from Google. Brendan, go ahead and say hello and take it away, my friend.
Thank you very much, Brian, and hello to everyone out there. So today's auto consumers have the need for speed, and most local dealerships aren't keeping up. And why? It's because they have a marketing mix that's too heavily focused on comfortable traditional marketing methods like newspapers, radio, and television. So if your marketing is stuck in first gear, then joining today's webinar was definitely
Brendan, hold on one second. It just had a hiccup. It had a hiccup. It must not have started right on time. Let me start over again. Hello, everybody. This is Brian Ankney with Auto Success Magazine. I'd like to thank you all for coming. Sorry about that little hiccup. Somehow go to webinar. It took a second to engage. But I'd like to thank you all for coming today. We've got a really exciting topic today. Brendan Jacobson, the strategic partner manager for Google, is going to share some insights that hopefully you can take some takeaways with you and sell some more cars right away. Just in case you haven't joined Auto Success Webinars yet, please do so. You can do so by going to Facebook, typing in Auto Success Webinars, join the group. In there, you can interact with attendees from past and future webinars. You can also talk with our speakers, with our sponsor companies. You're going to learn a lot of information today. If you have questions, as you try to implement it, go to the group and ask, and we'll be there to help you. Also, if there's a topic you'd like to see somewhere down the road in the future, please go there and message me. I'd be happy to find an industry expert to give a webinar on that topic for you. If you have questions, we're going to hold all the questions until the end of the webinar. And if you look to the right on your GoToWebinar pane, you'll see questions in that little list of things. If you click the plus sign right next to questions, it'll drop down and you can type in your questions. Brandon, please take it away. I appreciate you coming.
Thanks so much, Brian. Today's auto consumers have the need for speed, and most local dealerships aren't keeping up. And the question is why? And the answer is that they have a marketing mix that's too heavily focused on comfortable traditional marketing methods like newspapers, radio, and television. So if your marketing is stuck in first gear, then joining today's webinar was definitely a wise decision. Before we dive right into the content, I'll just take a second to introduce myself. As Brian said, my name is Brendan Jacobson, and I'm a strategic partner manager here at Google, and I work on our channel partnerships team. And our team is focused on helping small to medium-sized businesses compete in today's marketplace by leveraging the power of digital marketing, which in Google's world equates to scaling AdWords adoption for businesses of all sizes. And the way that we're able to do this effectively and at scale is by partnering with the right companies who we trust to represent us in the marketplace, companies like NetCertive. And we have thousands of companies out there that approach us every year wanting to become one of our partners, but we only take on a very small fraction of them because at the end of the day, these are companies that are the face of Google, and we need to make sure that we have the right companies that are out there representing us. I would also add that of this group, NetCertive is one of our premier partners, which puts them as one of the best of the best. So I just say that so that you know that you should have a lot of confidence in NetCertive because Google definitely does. So today we're going to spend some time looking at why it's critical that you have a digital marketing strategy. As we can see here, 75% of auto shopping research is done online, and we're consulting more sources today than we ever have before. And car shoppers are turning to mobile to research models, to find deals, and to get real-time advice. In these micro moments, times when car shoppers turn to digital to help select the perfect vehicle for their needs, they've replaced trips to the dealership. And in these moments, before they take a single step onto the polished floors of your showroom, car shoppers are making decisions and forming opinions by doing their own research online. So it's essential that you be there and you be useful in these moments if you want to be one of the 2 visits to dealerships that they make when they're ready to buy. So here are the 5 digital moments that really matter most. Which car is best for me moments? Is it right for me moments? Can I afford it? Where should I buy it? And am I getting a good deal? So let's dive into the ones that really matter for your business. So starting with which car is best moments. 6 out of 10 car shoppers enter the market unsure which car to buy. To help narrow their choices, they use multiple sources to determine a vehicle that best fits their needs. And we're spending more time than ever researching. We saw earlier 75% of research is done online, and car buyers today research at least 24 different sources throughout that buying process. No matter the source, data shows that these early research moments are increasingly influenced by video. In fact, of people who used YouTube while buying a car, 69% were influenced by it, more than TV, newspapers, or magazines. On YouTube, we've seen a huge increase in searches for car reviews, everything from in-depth expert reviews from YouTube creators to more traditional industry reviewers that compare 2 models head-to-head in the same video. And we know that online video drives brand discovery and consideration. 30% of car buyers were prompted to start shopping after seeing an online video ad. 40% of auto purchasers decided which brand to purchase based on an online video ad that they'd seen. And 61% of auto purchasers visited a dealership after viewing an online auto video. Today, more than half of all YouTube views are happening on mobile. And we see that this is extending into the auto space, where nearly half of all of YouTube watch time is happening on mobile. And we can see here that from these purchase paths, consumers are all over the place throughout their research process. So clearly, they're open to influence along the way, which means that there's a lot of opportunity for you to potentially engage and influence them to move towards your dealership. In fact, 75% of purchasers don't purchase the first brand that they research. So they may think that they want something, but only 25% of them carry through with the brand that they had in mind initially. So in order to win the which car is best moments, you need to be there and make sure that you're showing up in the moment, both on YouTube and in search. And people often overlook the fact that YouTube, it's the 2nd largest search engine out there to Google. You also need to be useful. You need to make sure that you have the right content for the which car is best moment. And you have to be quick. Is your auto review and educational content easy to find on your mobile site? Does it play properly on mobile? Can a user view it in full screen mode? Are you there when people are comparing cars that they're interested in? And you should consider cross-promoting, right? Think about Honda showing up for a Toyota search. Since car shoppers change their minds so frequently, include broader keywords or relevant competitor keywords to uncover a lot of added opportunity. And make sure that you post your video content on YouTube, which is already optimized for both mobile and cross-device viewers. At some point, a shopper needs a reality check. Will this car fit my needs and my life? Information about practical considerations like seating accommodations and the number of airbags are the hallmark of this stage. Historically, fuel efficiency has been a key factor at this stage, but as gas prices drop, interest in fuel efficiency has followed suit, decreasing since 2011. In place of efficiency searches, one of the areas we're seeing increased interest is hauling capacity. So trunk space and towing capacity search interest, for example, are up 15% and 30% respectively year over year. And perhaps as a result of those gas savings, people are also looking to treat themselves a little bit more. We've seen interest for luxury options on the rise. Search interest for features like panoramic moonroofs and backup cameras are up 33% and 23% respectively year over year. Video usage ranks highly at this stage. The top 3 types of video content auto shoppers search for are vehicle test drives, highlights of features and options, and walkthroughs of the interior or exterior of the vehicle. Time spent watching these kinds of auto videos is up nearly 2x in the past year alone. Online video ads also play an important role. Based on a recent Millward Brown study, video ads were the #1 ad format to increase consideration and #1 for discovery of new vehicles. On mobile, sometimes a still image best meets the needs of the moment. We found photos help people explore interior and exterior options and features. Search interest for pictures of insert any automotive brand are up 33% year over year. Perhaps sparked by what people see out on the road or in parking lots, 80% of these searches are happening on mobile. It's also at this stage where manufacturer websites fill a crucial role, helping shoppers understand various packages, equipment options, and helping them build their own vehicles with configurators. Searches for car builds are growing almost 4 times faster than overall auto brand searches, even on smaller mobile screens where configuration searches are up 6x year over year. So to win the "is it right for me" moments, you need to be there for feature searches. For example, cars with lots of trunk space, cars with that removable third row seat, and so on. You have to be useful. You have to make it easy for consumers to understand car features. Data shows that if we can't easily find what it is that we're looking for, we're going to move on. And we need to be quick. We need to make it easy for consumers to use car configurators, find vehicle detail pages, and so on. Here I wanted to share an example from Fiat, who did a great job identifying the exact micro moment they could be there when they reintroduced the brand to the American market after a 28-year hiatus. They brought with them the Fiat 500, a small city car that was already a runaway success in Europe, but they had a big challenge. After a 27-year absence, the Fiat brand was not recognized in the world's largest automobile market with a new generation of consumers, and they needed to drive awareness for the all-new Fiat 500 without spending big on mass media. At the time, though, gas prices were spiraling and the world was in a recession. Americans' interest in small, efficient city cars was at an all-time high. Fiat saw that trend, and any of its perceived disadvantages quickly became a strength. They deployed search ads on category terms like small car and city car to reach people at their micro moments. It was brilliant. A large audience who wanted exactly what they were selling reached at exactly their moments of interest. Fiat did something else smart. Their ads took advantage of people's context. On desktop, they took people to their car configurator. The Fiat 500 is available in literally 500,000 exciting color combinations, and customizing it was a big part of the fun. On mobile, however, they pointed people to the nearest dealership and made the sale in person. The results they saw were tremendous. Fiat saw a 127% increase in unaided recall, and the Fiat 500 became a huge success in North America. And most importantly, the brand is back. Once consumers can imagine owning a particular vehicle, they then need to know if they can actually afford it. And again, people are grabbing their smartphones to find the answer. Search interest for MSRP and list prices are at their highest levels ever, growing 25% in the last year, driven in large part by mobile, which accounts for 70% of these searches. For many shoppers, the value of their current car is just as important as the price of their new one. Search interest and trade-in value was at a record high this summer, up 17% in July. In fact, we're seeing more trade-in interest than we saw during the Cash for Clunkers push back in 2009. As of August of 2015, more than 50% of these searches were happening on mobile. Seasonality also has an important role here, and so we'll take a look at just a couple of examples. Every February, for instance, we see a spike in search interest for cars for sale under a given amount. And this could be potentially people who are expecting a certain tax return that's going to be coming very shortly. Summer is another important seasonal moment. When the temperatures rise, so does interest in car shopping. Search interest for lease deals peaked this last summer, up 20% compared to last year. And these are just a couple of the examples of seasonality. And this is something that NetCertif can help shine some light on for you over the course of the year, different trends that we're seeing over the different seasons. In order to win the can I afford it moments, you need to be there with the right keyword coverage, ensuring top position across the list price and MSRP queries for your brand, as well as higher priced alternatives. You have to be useful and feature deals and competitive pricing in your ad copy and landing page. And you have to be quick. You have to allow consumers to filter deals and car search results on your mobile site by monthly payment price. Even as the majority of car shopping process moves online, the visit to the nearby car dealership remains a crucial step in the journey. In fact, search interest for car dealerships near me have doubled in the last year. Beyond the where, shoppers also look for the when and the what. Searches for "Are dealers open Sunday?" for example, are popular, particularly on mobile phones, which make up 84% of those searches. Just as more car shopping happens on weekends, search for dealership reviews spike on the weekends as well. Whereas dealership review searches happen more on desktop during the week, mobile becomes the preferred method on weekends, making up 56% of the searches. Search interest for inventory to find if the right car is in stock it's growing more than 4 times faster than overall auto search interest. And while websites and apps can often answer those questions, sometimes a good old-fashioned phone call is still the way to go. Search interest in dealer phone numbers is up over 78% in the last year, the majority of which, not surprisingly, are happening on mobile. Finally, shoppers look at which dealership is going to deliver the best experience. Yet they only visited 1 or 2 dealerships. The number of dealerships visited by vehicle shoppers, it's declined from 5 visited on an average about a decade ago. And this isn't to suggest that the dealer is going away, rather that the relationship is shifting. We have people comparing more brands yet visiting fewer dealerships today. So how is this possible? In order to win the where should I buy it moments, you need to be there with the right keyword coverage and top position on weekends to maximize foot traffic to dealerships. You have to be useful. You have to implement hyperlocal targeting, location extensions, and call extensions to help consumers find nearby dealership locations, hours, and phone numbers. Keep inventory up to date on your mobile site. And you have to be quick. Feature click-to-call, dealership locators, and inventory search on your mobile site. Billy Ferriolo, Senior Vice President at AutoBytel, he doesn't believe that all clicks are created equal. And he was recently quoted as saying, consumers are at all levels of the purchase funnel, and in many cases, their behavioral signals indicate that they have a higher intent to purchase. When we identify these signals, we look to increase our bids and drive even more ready-to-buy shoppers to our partner dealers. If a consumer is looking to buy within the next 24 hours, we shouldn't handcuff ourselves to a max CPA. So AutoBytel, they're willing to pay more per click, knowing that it can connect them with more of the right consumers at the right time, ultimately bringing more value to dealers. Okay, so the deal just got real. The shopper's on the lot, and they know what they want. But they need to know, are they getting a fair deal? In other words, this stage is all about that game of poker we all play as consumers, where we're sitting across the laminate desk, looking at the pictures of the salesperson's kids, and we're asking ourselves, could someone with kids that adorable not be giving me the best possible price? Where questions like those used to be a matter of going with your gut, today it's about going with our phone. Mobile searches from dealership lots increased 46% in the last year. Today, half of all car shoppers with mobile devices use their smartphones while at the dealership. And the top action that people perform on the lot, not surprisingly, is confirming that they're getting a good price on the vehicle. And it's not just happening at the dealerships. Today, 47% of auto queries are coming from mobile devices. The top action that people perform with their phones while on the lot, not surprisingly, is confirming that they're getting a good price on a vehicle. Searches for Kelley Blue Book and competing dealers occur more often when at a dealership. And so finally, in order to win those am I getting a deal moments, you need to be there with the right keyword coverage in the top position on invoice pricing and local dealership queries. It's a defensive move that will help you to retain customers and sales. By showing up for an invoice pricing query, you're there in the moment to answer their question. You have to be useful. You have to develop content to educate consumers on invoice pricing, your current promotions and deals, and give them the confidence that they need to make the purchase. And you have to be quick. You have to anticipate needs and eliminate steps by sending them directly to the invoice pricing or dealer content. And so with that, I want to thank you all for joining. I'm going to hand it off to Danielle from NetCertive, who's going to talk a bit about their ebook product that can help educate you on the digital landscape as it relates to automotive.
All right, thanks, Brendan, and a big thank you to Brian and Auto Success for hosting today, and good afternoon to those of you that are on the phone. I'd like to thank you for joining today on behalf of NetCertive. As Brendan mentioned, on your screen right now, you should see a URL for a free ebook from NetCertive. This ebook contains some of Google stats and some additional ones about mobile video and the changes in consumer trends. So in addition to the webinar today, as a webinar registrant, you get access to this free ebook. Just visit the URL on the screen to download. And with that, thanks again. And Brian, I'm going to hand it back to you. I think you have some questions for Brendan.
Yes. Hey, everybody. This is Brian with Auto Success. Please go ahead and type in any questions that you might have type them into the question function in your GoToWebinar little pane there. Actually, and Jim, I'll let you know that yes, we can get you a copy of the presentation if you'd like to see it. Let's get on to some questions about the content. Brendan, at the beginning you spoke to research points. How can we advertise or take advantage of the moments when they are doing research?
You know, well, there's so many different ways that we can do this. I mean, I think it's very clear that search, video, very critical roles there. Mobile, you have to be on mobile. And I didn't talk much about display, but even display is a big opportunity, right? Because you have an opportunity to engage consumers as they're researching information related to your brand. So I think it's also a matter of understanding where people are in terms of the purchase path and what your strategy is to bring them in at any given moment. And that's where a partner like NetCertive can really help you create that proper digital strategy and find that right balance between search, mobile, video, and display to make sure that you're targeting the right audience in the most effective way possible.
Okay. Here's another one. Where is the next big area for dealerships to focus? And it says social, video, or mobile.
I think it's a combination. I would say it's a combination of video and mobile, right? Those are two of the fastest growing areas that we see here at Google. And in fact, we're seeing now that more than half of all YouTube views are happening on mobile devices. You know, we've actually seen on Google search more than half of the queries that are happening on Google.com now are coming from mobile devices. And I think that, you know, as these devices become more affordable, we're going to see even more of a hockey stick in terms of growth in mobile. So I think if I were to focus on a particular area, I would focus on mobile, and then I would prioritize video secondly.
Okay. These stats are great. Where can dealers continue to get updated stats on search trends and car shopper behavior?
Yeah, so there's a few resources that you can go to. I would highly recommend anyone that has any sort of digital marketing expertise, whatever level it may be, to go to Google Trends. It's a very useful free resource where you can find a lot of these types of trends. We also have articles that we publish on the automotive space. It's called Think with Google. Go there, you can sign up and automatically push new articles to your email address. And then you can also work with a partner like NetCertive to continue to find other resources to update you on whatever the latest happenings are in the auto space.
Okay. Which moment is the biggest opportunity for dealers?
That's a tricky question. I think it's not going to be a black and white answer across the board. I think that it's going to depend on what type of brand you are, where your potential customer is in terms of the purchase path, and so I think they're all very important. But can I afford it is going to be very different for somebody looking at one brand versus a Bentley, right? So I think you just need to know your brand, know your audience, and then try to target them based on where they are in terms of the purchase path.
Okay. See, I'm ready to put the pedal to the metal. How can I ensure that the dealership is mobile ready?
That's where our partners come in, right? So, our team, as I mentioned before, our goal is to help as many small businesses out there make sure that they do have everything digital set up, right? That you have the right strategy, that you have a mobile-friendly website, and we rely on our partners to really help hold their hand and make sure that they have that and help them get that digital marketing strategy executed.
Okay. Well, it looks like that is the last of our questions. I usually like to ask one question, Brendan. For a lot of dealerships, you probably know this stat better than anybody, but I would probably say 50% of dealerships at best are doing all this stuff right, and the others are somewhere, on the other, are not doing it right and struggling to figure out how to do it right. Is this something where you can do it on your own, or is a partner really necessary to navigate this undertaking?
Well, I think we saw, right, just in this presentation, that there were 5 different moments where we were talking about search, we were talking about hyper-local targeting with mobile, talking about creating different content for video. Potentially, maybe there's somebody out there that can handle it on their own. I wouldn't recommend it. I think that the benefit that you're going to get from somebody that's an expert in the space, who's keeping up with all of the latest trends, is going to pay off big time. I think that you're better off focusing on your day-to-day responsibilities at the dealership and hiring a professional to come in and do that for you.
Okay. Well, perfect. Brendan, I'd like to thank you for coming and sharing all that great information with our audience today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. And hey, everybody that attended, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us. I know working in a dealership is a busy career, but I thank you for coming. If there's anything that you would like to see on a webinar, if there's something you're having trouble with, please message me on Facebook. You can email me. My email is brian@autosuccessonline.com. And join Auto Success Webinars, the group on Facebook. You'll never miss another webinar that you want to see because we post all of them there. Brendan, Danielle, is there anything the two of you would like to share with our audience before we let them go?
Not here. Just thank you for joining.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you, everybody, and I hope you join us again for a future webinar. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
All right, thanks. Bye.